8 iconic billionaires who plan to conquer outer space. In recent years, a number of billionaires have announced plans to conquer outer space. These space enthusiasts include some of the world's most well-known entrepreneurs, such as Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson. Each of these billionaires had their own unique plan for space exploration. They all share a common goal: to make humanity a spacefaring species. So why are billionaires interested in space exploration lately? And who will be the first one who will succeed in this mission? Want to know more? Hey folks, welcome back to Unlimited Money. In today's video, we are going to talk about billionaires who want to go to space and conquer it. So without delaying any further, let us get started. Are you guys ready? Hey, please hit that bell icon and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future updates from us. Space is the next frontier for humanity. After conquering the Earth, space is next, and scientists and billionaires have been making plans to build establishments on Mars and Moon and in space. It is akin to colonizing space as we've done here on Earth. And there is always a first mover advantage, as that's where there is a maximum profit if there is to be reaped. This is the reason that billionaires are trying to be the early ones to go to space and establish their superiority and capabilities of taking humans to space. The ones who are able to do it earlier than the others will be the ones getting their names written in history books and also laughing their way to the bank. So let's see who they are and how they're planning to conquer space. The first one on the list is none other than Elon Musk. The world's richest man and visionary are the first ones in the privatized space sector. So step back and sort out what he is doing to reach his Mars goal and bringing humanity kicking and screaming into the 21st century, especially in the USA, by developing and encouraging the development of futuristic technologies that 20 years ago didn't really exist in a productive form. By testing and proving them on Earth, he is preparing for a running start to build the infrastructure for his vision of 1 million inhabitants on Mars, both with the money earned and the infrastructure to build them. Electrification of energy production and storage, electric transportation modules, boring tunnels for said transportation and habitats, in situ research utilization for a gigachemical processing factory, high-speed Hyperloop transportation in a vacuum. His Model S and X are equipped to operate in a semi-vacuum. For a long-distance option, Neuromesh and Link for a mind-computer interface, eventually to be a nanobot computer interface between the brain, body, and the external AI. Food production from his bro Kimball to produce large quantities of organic food via Gigafactory model. Last but not least, Starlink that will revolutionize communications on Earth, but also on the Moon and Mars, and between the three and space vehicles in the inner planets. And that's for starters. People online are all about Starlink, being about Skynet from the sci-fi movies and the takeover of humanity by the robots. Musk has bigger plans than dominating Earth. He wants to start with the inner solar system and expand to the whole solar system and ultimately interstellar flight and colonization. To do that, he needs to turn Starlink into a quantum entanglement method of communication, first between the inner planet, but then out to Pluto and the Oort cloud. Gwynne Shotwell said that 4 years ago, that she hopes by 2035 to 2040, SpaceX is working on interstellar propulsion. I'm expecting that with the advent of Hall thrusters on his Starlink satellites, he'll be working on a means to utilize the technology for interplanetary propulsion in 10 to 15 years. Impulse Power Geordie is the next step before a warp-style drive. I don't expect it'll be exactly like the sci-fi propulsion system, but by 2069, 100 years after the Apollo moon landing, we will have something that will propel robotic missions to our nearest neighbors, with the capability to communicate with it via Starlink. The next big name that comes on our list is another billionaire who held the first position before Elon as the wealthiest man on Earth. He is Jeff Bezos. Both Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have their own rocket companies, SpaceX and Blue Origin respectively, and both want to conquer space. While Musk has some grand plans for Mars, Jeff is also coming forward with his moon plans. Last year, Bezos already went to space, although it just lasted for less than a minute, and it was a successful flight, and he survived with his rocket. Bezos wants to develop a sustained human presence on the moon, has proposed that heavy industry could be moved off Earth, and has said that humanity could live in O'Neill cylinders, huge spinning space stations which would simulate gravity. Let's see where he takes humanity. Next is Richard Branson. Richard Branson successfully traveled to space with the help of Unity 22, which was designed by his own space company, Virgin Galactic. It just flew to the height of 88 kilometers from the surface of the Earth and returned safely. According to U.S. standards and NASA, space begins 80 kilometers up from the surface of the Earth. So if we see as per their standards, then Richard went into space and became the first ever man to do so, in his own rocket, and we can't deny that now. Next comes on the list Mark Zuckerberg. The CEO of Facebook, which now has become Meta, is not open about conquering space, but he definitely wants to know what's going on in space. Mark, along with the late scientist Stephen Hawking and Russian venture capitalist Yuri Milner, had aligned themselves with the Starshot project, an ambitious attempt to send small robots to the far reaches of space, including Alpha Centauri, which is 25 million miles away, to see what secrets are out there. Next on our list is Robert Bigelow. Robert's the owner of the Budget Suites of America hotel chain, but from childhood, he wished to travel to space. So in 1999, he started a company named Bigelow Aerospace, a company focused on creating habitats in space for astronauts or others to inhabit. Those can range from private space stations to, essentially, houses on the moon. In 2013, NASA signed a $17.8 million deal to evaluate the company's technology. Bigelow focuses on making small habituate for space travelers on other planets, which can be easily transported on the spacecraft and can be built automatically. The co-founder of Microsoft, Paul Allen, is also interested in space research. He was the investor behind Burt Rutan's Spaceship One, which won the 2004 Ansari X Prize competition. Further, in 2013, again Paul partnered with Rutan and started Strato Launch Systems, which aims to make a 238-foot jet aircraft with a wingspan of 385 feet that will take rockets to a high altitude before they separate and the rocket climbs into orbit. And the next name which comes on the list is quite surprising. He is one of the biggest directors in Hollywood, James Cameron. We all know how much he is fascinated with space and made many great movies related to science and space, but in 2012 he invested in Planetary Resources, a company that is seeking to use robotic ships to mine asteroids for rich resources and harness them for our use. Google co-founder Larry Page and its executive chairman Eric Schmidt also were investors in the same company along with James Cameron. But nowadays the company's not doing very well and has been acquired by a blockchain company. It suffered some funding problems and was not able to deliver what it promised. The last person on our list is Naveen Jain. Naveen Jain's a serial entrepreneur who is trying his hands at building machine-operated spacecraft which can mine materials like gold, cobalt, platinum, and helium-3 for nuclear energy fuel. His company, Moon Express, or MoonX, managed to get approval from NASA for the first private lunar landing in 2017. In a race against global superpowers, Moon Express, a private venture, founded by Jain, along with space technology guru Dr. Barney Pell and space futurist Dr. Bob Richards, has cleared a path for private U.S. companies looking to explore and commercialize space. Today, the company is the first private enterprise in history to receive U.S. government approval to travel beyond Earth's orbit and undertake a deep space mission. The moon is a treasure chest that has vast amounts of iron ore, water, rare earth minerals, and precious metals, as well as carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, and helium-3, a gas that can be used in future fusion reactors to provide nuclear power without radioactive waste. And that's it for today's video. We sincerely hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give it a like and share it with your friends and family. Let us know if you have any questions or comments in the section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you'll see more of our incredible videos. You can also watch other videos that have been specially selected just for you. Hey, we look forward to seeing you in the next video, and thanks for watching.